Today we are going to see an example of the agglomerative hierarchical clustering. We have selected a dataset called wholesale customers data. This is readily available when you Google the datasets. This is how we import the libraries, and let us just have a look at the dataset. So we have some features here: channel, region, fresh, milk, and so on. These values are continuous, whereas the channel and region seems to be categorical in nature. Let us dive a little more into this by using the info of the pandas. Yes, so here we see that the data type of all these features are integer. However, we need to confirm for some of the features. For example, when we see little more details of this featured channel, we find that it has got just values of 1 and 2. Therefore, though its data type seems to be integer, it is categorical in nature. Similarly, if we see the details of this region, then we find that there are three different values, 1, 2, and 3 respectively, and this is another categorical feature that we have. So before we proceed with our uh, clustering, we need to normalize this information. So let us see. What we do here is we group the features as categorical and continuous features. Here we have channel and region into categorical, the remaining as continuous features. For this categorical features, what we need to do is we need to split each of these features and use the function called getDummies to segregate the category. For example, when we call this segment of program using the features channel, then what we have is the channel value. The channel value, wherever we have value 1, would create a separate column, and wherever we have 2, we'll have another separate column. So we'll have 2 additional columns of zeros and ones. Wherever the value is 1 stands for 1, remaining will be filled with 0, and so on. So after creating those dummy columns, what we do here is we concatenate those columns generated into our original data frame, that is data. After doing so, the original column channel needs to be dropped out. This new column that we are creating will be prefixed with the column name. For example, the first column will be channel 1, then the other will be channel 2, and so on. Region has got 3 different values, so it will be created as region 1, region 2, region 3. And after creating those columns and they are added to the original data frame called data, then we will be dropping the column. Let us just have a look. So this is the original data set, and we call this segment of program, and we update the values. After updating the values, the original channel has been split into channel 1 and channel 2. Region has been split into region 1, region 2, region 3. Okay, now we are half the way done. We call the min-max scalar libraries create an object. With this object we feed and transform the datasets. So what we have in the first row is the transformed values of the first row. Now we are ready for the clustering. Here we call the library for hierarchical clustering with this size for the figure. We will try to draw a dendrogram. Okay, this is the dendrogram just created. This has been the orientation has been changed because of this parameter. In case you do not want in the horizontal and one in the vertical format, then you can just remove this parameter and you will have the normal dendrogram drawn for you. Okay, after drawing the dendrogram, what we see here is the blue line is the longest line drawn. So what we can have is we can uh, cut this blue line vertically, and when we cut this blue line, then we'll have two clusters. One is this cluster, then another one is the cluster with the red, the red and the green. So we have two clusters here. Number of clusters is it is shown here that selecting two will be efficient. So we call the agglomerative clustering library and put n number of clusters as 2, and we use the Euclidean distance to calculate the distances. So we have the two classes levels 0 and 1. Now for the sake of visualization, let us just pick up the two features, for example milk versus grocery, and just plot our diagram, and we have this diagram generated, milk versus grocery. And another example is fresh versus frozen. Here you see the columns we are selecting here from the data transformed. All the rows of the 0th column, which is fresh, all the rows of the 3rd column, which is frozen. This is how we select different columns in NumPy. So using these two columns, we have the figure being plotted. So this is how the hierarchical clustering, in particular agglomerative hierarchical clustering, work. Thank you.